Guys, how y'all doing? It's me, Johnny, once again with another video on Sorare today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today is a big day as we have a couple of massive moves happening in the club as we speak, and a huge decision is coming in that I've made just now that is going to impact the club in a big way, and something that I really like. This is going to be something that you're going to see a lot on the channel lately. You're going to see the progress of me understanding Sorare and knowing how to put my budget out there and not necessarily like fixing my mistakes from the past. And in today's episode, we're going to be fixing, or at least trying to be fixing, one of our mistakes in the past. And it's important that we do so. It's important to look back and say, hey, old Johnny, you were wrong. You're still learning. So go ahead and fix your mistakes and make the best out of it. So in today's episode, as you guys can clearly see, I have sold on Denis Suarez. Yes, our first ever rare reward has left the club for 275 euros. Bronze, one of our Discord members, I told the people, hey guys, I put him up for 290. If someone in the Discord wants to pick him up for cheap, I will always give a discount to the people in the Discord. So I've gone ahead and sold him to one of our mods in the Discord. If you guys are interested in taking part in the Discord, link in the description down below. We already have over like 260 people in there talking about Sorare all day. And if you guys want to join into Sorare, please use the link in the description down below. If you use that one right there, you get to the Sorare page, and after having used that link and being on the Sorare page, sign up for the page if you haven't already. And if you do so and you buy 5 players off the market, you will be given a free limited item. So go ahead and use the link down below. It supports the channel massively. Thank you so much if you do sign up for Sorare using that link. As always, guys, nothing I say in this video is financial advice. This is just entertainment. This is just a manager on Sorare trying his best to be successful. So what's happened in the club? The 2 under-23 players that we have brought in, who are they? As you guys can see, Super Usman, the legend himself on Sorare, has come in clutch for us and has made a deal happen with the likes of Kramaric being put into the deal and Cengiz Ünder. Cengiz Ünder wasn't in the club when you guys saw the last episode. I wanted to pick him up to use him. And then I bought his midfielder item, which I've done it so many times now. I've done it twice. I've done it with Felix Torres and I've done it with Cengiz Ünder. You can clearly tell I am still not perfect when it comes to Sorare itself. So please don't take anything I do as something that you should be doing as well. But boys, I have put in Cengiz Ünder and Kramaric into the deal and picked myself up a Moussa Diaby. Let me show you guys as to why I have picked up Diaby here and why I think he's going to be class. First of all, I can use him in under 23s. That's clutch. Then I can use him in Champion Europe, which is going to be quite useful as well. And, of course, Diaby has been going for more now. He's been going for 2,461. At the time, when I picked up Ünder, he was going for 1,250, and Kramaric was going for around 1,000 euros. So, I think he also caught the bug. So I needed someone new to come into my team desperately. So I have put in a deal of Kramaric, Ünder, and the ETH amount to get Moussa Diaby into my team. Why did I get Diaby? Because he just looks so good lately. I think he looks amazing, and I think he's slowly getting into himself. I truly believe in this kid, even though at times when I was looking at him and I was watching the games, I'm like, dude, this guy's good. But then the next moment I think, oh God, this guy doesn't have a brain. And then the next moment I think he's brilliant. So it's a very confusing setup when it comes to Moussa Diaby. But let me show you as to why I am very, very hyped about him. If you take a look at the page of FB Ref, which is an amazing page suggested to me by Sojiva, he uses it in his videos. And I've been falling in love with this page lately. If you look at Moussa Diaby, per 90 minutes, his non-penalty goals, so basically expected goals, 0.44, which is nice. That puts him into the 91 percentile in terms of like European football, I believe this is based on, like the top 5 leagues. His assists, 97 percentile. So he is incredible when it comes to that. 0.44 in terms of assists that he has at the moment. I think this one is like the goals that he has scored, and this one is the expected goals. So he's kind of outperforming himself here, if I'm not completely mistaken. I'm still learning how to use this site. So he's expected to have 0.27 goals so far, but he's had 0.44, which is great to see. So he's outperforming that a little bit. In terms of assists, he was expected to have 0.29 per game. Here, in real life, right now, he has 0.44. In terms of progressive carries, he's up there in the higher percentile as well. Dribbles completed as well. Touches, progressive passes as well. This is someone that I think, if he gets into like a run of form right now, which he seems to be doing lately, I really want him to be one of the main men that we can use in the under-23s. And if I need him to, he can jump into the Champion Europe team as well when I feel like the matchups for Leverkusen are great. Another thing, when we are talking about matchups, why did I pick up myself a Moussa Diaby? Why did I feel like this was the perfect time to pick him up? Stuttgart is their next opponent. Leverkusen is playing against Stuttgart in 2 days, and Stuttgart is 17th. They have conceded 38 goals so far and have a minus 14 goal difference as we speak. I am looking at that team and I'm thinking, this is the time. They are on good form, right? Bayer Leverkusen had just beaten Dortmund 5-2, an incredible game. And with that form and momentum against one of the lower sides in the league table, I fully expect Leverkusen to smash them, especially with how good Florian Wirtz is doing, with how good Patrick Schick has been for the squad as well, with how Bellarabi all of a sudden is doing incredibly well as well. I thought this was the perfect time to pick him up. After that, they're up against Mainz, who are 10th. That is going to be a high-scoring game as well, I believe. Then against Arminia Bielefeld in the same month, who are 15th. So up until that moment, we have great matchups. And then, of course, Bayern Munich is coming around, which is going to be kind of tough. So from that point on, we'll see how things go. But at least in the month of February, we have 3 very, very good matchups for Bayer Leverkusen. So I thought it was time to pick him up. And yeah, I'm excited about that one. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of Moussa Diaby. He just looks very good to me. And I'm excited to have him in the squad now in exchange for a mistake that I've made, Cengiz Ünder, and in exchange for a player like Kramaric, who is now going to be out for possibly 2 weeks. And who knows how this disease is going to be impacting him. A lot of players have had heart issues. So I just got rid of him when I could. And I'm out of Kramaric now. And we have Diaby, who I think is going to be performing better. The other player I desperately wanted for my club because his stats are just insane was Saliba. Yes, guys, I've gone all in on Saliba. I picked him up for 1.21 ETH at the time. Saliba comes into the club now. Another massive purchase for the club. Nep already has him. He's been having him for like months now. He picked him up as an Arsenal fan, obviously, but he has been at Marseille. And look at those scores. L5, 67, L15, 61, L40, 61. And as you can tell, lately he's been going for 3,890. Just, what is it, 2 days ago? On auction as well for a 2022 card. And I've just picked myself up a Saliba for not 3,400 actually. We picked him up for, what is the price? Actually, yeah, you could say 3,400. Nonetheless, we are way below the price that he went for earlier on. And as you guys know, I've been talking about this for quite some time. Marseille is the most prominent team in our club at the moment. They have Metz coming up. They have Karabakh coming up midweek, so I can be playing midweek in All-Star, which I'm really excited about. Then they have Clermont coming up. Then they have Karabakh again. Then they have Troy. So in the month of February, Marseille, I'm expecting an amazing run of games because they have lost massively against Nice, which was not good. Then they have also lost against Olympique Lyon in a game that was extremely frustrating to watch. And Saliba is the main man in this team, the mainstay in that defense. And a huge talent on top of it who has under 23 usage until 2025. And as you guys know, Arsenal is the actual team that he plays for. He's only on loan at Marseille. And for me, when I look at that, I think, okay, so I've been watching Saliba for a couple of games now at Marseille, and I think he looks incredible. I genuinely believe he looks unbelievable for the squad. And I can easily see Arsenal play a formation with Saliba in there because the performances that he's showing in France has to convince Arteta. Arteta has to look at him and think, this is not someone that I put down onto the bench. This is someone that comes into the starting lineup. At the time, it didn't really work out for him at Arsenal. A couple of weird things were happening in social media, and he just bounced, basically, and left to Marseille. And he's been very happy ever since. Ideally, I would like to see Marseille spend the cash on him. And I feel like that's what they're trying to do, because Marseille currently are basically negotiating constantly to go out there and let players like Camara go, who I think his contract might be running out. Khaled Akar is going to be leaving possibly as well. Teams like West Ham are very interested in him. And then, of course, they have Balerdi. That would leave them with one decent centre-back here. And Saliba, of course, will be leaving at the end of the season. So you got to look at this and think, Marseille has to spend the money. If they have a buy clause, which I don't know if they do, but if they do have a buy clause, they have to trigger it no matter what they do. They have to keep this guy in their team. He has been the best performer in their defense by a country mile. Every game I watch, Saliba is the one chasing people down. Saliba is the one with the last-ditch tackles. He is the one that constantly gets things done for the team. And I'm so happy that I got him for this price right here. Extremely happy about it. My next big investment, I'm fully aware this is a lot of money that we are spending, but I truly believe in the project of Sorare. Personally, this is based on my information, and I really want to be in it for the long run. And when we're talking about the long run, we look at these scores and we see unbelievable scores. For a centre-back, once again, a player that is doing so well in terms of all-round scores due to clean sheets and tackles and clearances and all of that. He is physical, he is quick, he is very good on the ball, has good passing play as well. And now Marseille, with the likes of Cengiz Ünder and such on the wings, he can ping them long balls towards them, which he has done multiple times as I've seen. And he also likes to carry the ball forward in between the attackers, run through them, and break the first line of defense. So for me, Saliba was one that I put onto my watch list. I wanted him, and I have now picked him up at a very good price in my eyes. So I'm excited to have him in the squad, which at the same time, as you guys know, adds a little bit more value to our Marseille stack. We now have a very, very good Ligue 1 Marseille stack here. We have the likes of Paul Lopez, who's a great goalkeeper who lately hasn't been looking too good, but could be back to his great form again. So hopefully this downside of him that has been happening in the past few weeks is going to be all right again as the team picks up clean sheets again. The last game against Nice, Camara was missing, and he's such a big part of the defense for Marseille. So I'm hoping he's going to be back again, playing right in front of that defense. But Paul Lopez, Khaled Akar, and Saliba, they are going to be that defensive line that we have, and just one clean sheet gets us huge points for that team right there. So again, with Saliba, just like with Moussa Diaby, we can go ahead and use them both in either under 23s or also in Champion Europe. So based on how my team is lining up, I will switch them across and see what I can do best. But it is nice to have players that I can use in different divisions. And of course, we have the ability to use these guys in All-Star as well. If we go into the week right here, and you take a look at my teams now for the upcoming game week, you can see that in the All-Star divisions, we are trusting our boys here. We're fully trusting the lads from Sion and Cercle Bruges. For the under 23s, you can see the Kaiser, Hilgers, Hudemakers, Matondo, and Saliba. Why? Because Musiala has picked up the disease as well. So Musiala is going to be gone for at least a week. And then the question is if he's going to be fine, because of course at Bayern itself, we've had the issue of Alphonso Davies picking up the disease and having heart issues. So it could be long-term. No one knows what's going to happen with Musiala. I just hope he's going to be fine. Then in the Champion Europe team, as you guys can see, we have Paul Lopez, Khaled Akar, Dimitri Payet, the Marseille stack, so to say. And then we have Fabian Ruiz, who is an amazing scorer, along with Diaby, who's on great form lately and is doing exceptionally well for the price tag that he's coming with. So, is this it? No, it isn't. When it comes to fixing mistakes, I wouldn't say this one is a mistake that I've made, but I would say this is a huge issue that maybe a lot of people do, including myself. When it comes to Sorare, right now, as it stands, 1/5 of my entire budget is put into one player, and that player doesn't play. And that player is the one that me and my wife have bought as a project together. And we've talked about it, and we have decided if we can move him on, we'll move him on. He is sick right now. He's not going to get playtime. And even if he is healthy, he's not in a starting lineup. So why put so much money into one player that doesn't play in the starting lineup. And it hurts my soul to say this, but lads, Musiala, he might have to leave. Yep, he might have to leave. I've been trying to work out deals with multiple people, but let me show you one I'm going after right now. I have gone ahead and I've offered Musiala plus Matondo for Paulo Dybala and Berkus. Let me explain to you as to why I've gone for these two. And I've even gone for these two as well. Naby Fekir and Goose Till. I also wanted to go for Tchouaméni. No one wanted me to go ahead and basically no one wanted to accept that deal. I want Tchouaméni. I will get him at some point. Trust me, it's going to happen. I just feel like he's going to go up another K in the next month. But it's going to be because of like good matchups for Monaco. But let's move on from that. Why am I currently, as we speak, going for Paulo Dybala and Steven Berkus for one of the biggest talents in Germany and one of the talents that is like the third top scorer in under 23s in the Belgian league? Here's the reason as to why. Paulo Dybala, as we speak, if we look at his 6-month graph of his price, he peaked in December at around 3,800. His base price here that he built up was up to 3,300 euros. And he has come down ever so slightly down to 2,700 lately. Why did I want to go for Paulo Dybala? This is obviously not an under-23 player. The reason behind that is Juventus now with the likes of Vlahovic up top, they are looking very good. They are looking very, very good. And immediately, that first game, Dybala is up to 71 points. I watched the game back. I looked into it and I was like, man, this could be special, especially with Zakaria coming into that midfield as well. They are looking very interesting, man. Bentancur immediately replaced with Zakaria. And then you have Vlahovic as well coming in and scoring in his first game, just like Zakaria. Both of them have scored. And that builds momentum for a team like Juventus. So for me, I thought I'm going to make use of the fact that currently the momentum is building towards Juventus' favor. And Dybala is a mainstay in that club. He is one of the biggest names in that club. And he is also one of the ones that scores really highly, who does tend to get a lot of decisive scores. Obviously, yes, he does have some downsides at times. He doesn't look too good in certain games. But when he does go up there and when he does perform, especially with Vlahovic now up top, I can see Dybala getting loads of assists. I can see him get a lot of goals as well. Juventus, with the likes of Vlahovic coming in, with the momentum, I wanted to go for him. Then I've also gone for Berkus. And of course, this is not a guaranteed deal. This hasn't gone through yet. Who knows what's going to happen here? But I'm just basically explaining to you why I'm going for these players. These two players together amount to, on based like current market price, they go for around 5,000 euros. And the same goes for these two players. If this guy accepts, I'll be happy. It will be tough to let go of Musiala, but both of these guys are starting lineup players in massive clubs. Berkus, I would then probably move on to my all-star team and have as one of the players that scores consistently. And this is the big point with Berkus. He plays for Ajax, who dominate the Dutch league, who scores so many goals. And as you guys can see, he has played 100% of the last 5 games. This man, even if he doesn't score, as a forward, still gets very good all-round scores. And that's what I look into when I'm looking for an all-star rare player, because currently I'm not playing Challenger, of course. Berkus is 30 years old. He has 56 points here on average, 57 here right there. And then he has 47 on that match. He has 51 on that match. So in the last 5 games, just 4 of them, he didn't get a decisive, but he still got around, in and around the 50 points. That's what I want to see from a forward, because a lot of the forwards, when you look into them, like let's say Immobile, for example, who is also around the same age, right? You have someone like Immobile who does have these terrible all-round scores. Yes, he does score goals and he does get decisives, but if he doesn't get decisives, his scores are terrible. You see 39, 36, 30, 34, 19, 30. That's just not what I'm looking for in terms of a consistent scorer in terms of SO5. So I have gone in on Berkus because of the reasoning that he does get great scores. Can I go back to him, please? There we go. So yeah, I've gone for him because he plays for the top team in the Netherlands. He gets playtime all the time. He's an experienced player that Ajax needs. They need to balance out the youth that they have on the squad with a player that knows what's going on, with a player that can lead the team somewhat along the likes of Tadic. So I see him as a very good player to come in and a player that I can make use of for a decent amount of time. So if this deal goes through, for a player that doesn't play and for a player that doesn't score consistently in terms of Musiala and Matondo, we would be getting a Dybala that has now one of the best strikers in the world as his team partner, as a partner right next to him, and Berkus, who is in a club that plays extremely well and ruins their league every single time they play. So if things work out, that is going to be the reshaping of the club. But it pains me. It still pains me to say that Musiala might leave the club. It really does. It's one of those. I went into it thinking, I want Musiala. I love him. I think he's an amazing talent. But looking at it right now, it just seems like it was a mistake at the time to invest 1/5 of my entire budget into one player who doesn't play. It's just stupid. It really is. Once I have a huge gallery and this doesn't make up 1/5, but makes up, I don't know, 1/20th, sure, go for it. Keep him there. But for now, for a beginner account, so to say, I need to be investing into SO5. I need to get the best out of my value that I'm putting into the platform. And again, we learn another thing. Don't buy players that you're not going to use. Don't keep players that you're not going to use. So Denis Suarez, immediately out of the club. We got him as a reward. Great. But if I have no usage for him, no utility, he's leaving. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I love you all. Let me know in the comments down below how you feel about this. I personally feel like we have made the right moves, and I'm so excited to bring in better and better scorers into the club. If you look at the highest average scores here, 76, 70, 70, 67, 64, 64, 62, 60, you see a lot of top performers now being brought into the team. Players, yes, that are hyped, but certain ones that we have picked up on good prices like Saliba as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you all. I'll see you next time. Hopefully we made the right decisions. Take care and peace.